in our brains?
Funding.
Be honest.
I'll be absolutely honest. I have two important points to say, and I hope these actually have an impact. First, I'd like to thank the taxpayer because your funds fund our research. Okay, in India, a great overwhelming percentage of the research funding comes from the taxpayer, and we owe it to everybody to share some of the joys of it. But 2 points. I'm not going to talk about the quantum of funds. Okay, that's whatever money there is. What I'm going to talk about is what type of human resources those funds are used for and the timely disbursal of said funds. Okay, we can buy equipment. Buying actually fancy, gizmos, microscopes, machines to explore the atom or the brain or lasers and so on. These can be purchased, but it's very difficult to actually appoint a person of the right abilities, training, background, and pay them enough to retain them to be able to actually operate those machines at a very high level.
Okay.
Okay, so the system that we have does not allow us to retain these kinds of human resources. They get sucked up by companies who can actually pay them what they deserve. Abroad, you have heads of entire facilities who might make as much or more as the faculty, but we have a little bit of a hierarchical system where only research faculty sort of can reach a certain level of, we just don't have the structure where our facilities are, and the people who operate them and who do so with great, it's not just a mechanical operation, who do so with great intelligence and investment
So you are unable to retain the best minds for the lack of money. Would you say that?
For the lack of the type of position. The lack of the type of position. Okay, I'll elaborate on more on that in private, but the other point I don't want to lose is the timely disbursal of funds. Okay, I'm very privileged. I am from the Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, which is funded by the Department of Atomic Energy. Our funds are released on time and our students get paid directly by these funds. But across India, students are paid by CSIR fellowships. These don't come on time. The very young minds who come hungrily to do research are expected to wait for months. We're talking months, okay, or sometimes more than a year even, without pay because they will get arrears later. What's the problem? This is a problem. How are you going to inspire somebody to do research when they're not getting their monthly paycheck? This is a basic human rights problem. Funds are not dispersed on time, and we do this to our youngest people upon whom the future of the country rests. These people are going to make the next inventions, right? And this is how we treat them, okay? So timely disbursal of fellowships, timely disbursal of grants. People who are not as fortunate as I am at TIFR, they rely on grants from the DBT, DST, what will now be the ANRF. If these grants don't come on time, how are you going to compete with people whose grants do come on time? How are you going to hire the staff? How are you going to buy the equipment? If you suddenly don't get money for a year because, some piece of paperwork has not been filed or, or so you hear after 6 months of delay. So timely, proper management of funds. I'm not questioning the quantum. I'm saying just give it on time. The country's research will thrive.
Dr. Falke, tell me this. I mean, we heard